Hello and welcome to Galactic Sun Energy Readings. Tasha here at Galactic Sun Energy Readings. Hello everybody, and thank you so much for joining me once again. And thank you for all the support and thumbs up and everything from the last video. Really appreciate all of that. Thank you so much. So I have been slow coming back again, and I have to say I've had a bit of a time of it. I've had an ongoing drama in my life, which some of you are aware of. I won't chat about it too much on you because it's a bit, but suffice to say, it's got in the way of me doing my readings. Yeah, it's a bit of a thing. It's it's a bit of a heavy subject. Okay, so I won't get into it on here. But anyway, it stopped me from doing my readings this week. But I'm back today, my darlings, and I'm happy to be back today. It's Sunday. We're in the Lion's Gate portal. We're in the mouth of the lion now. We're welcoming in Leo season, so hello to all my beautiful Leos. Happy birthday to all of the Leos out there. We've gone into retrogrades. Venus is in retrograde. I believe Mercury's going into retrograde. So we've got all of that. We've got a lot going on, my loves, energetically. A lot of big changes this month as well that we're just coming up for. We're saying goodbye to seeing July out, welcoming August in. We've got LAMMAS, of course, Pagan Festival of LAMMAS, which is a harvest festival, which falls on the full moon, I think, Monday or Tuesday. So that's one of my favourites of those kinds of things, to be honest with you. It used to be anyway, but I used to go to this hippie festival. Here I go to memory lane again. I used to go to this hippie festival, and it was my favourite festival of all, called the Big Green Gathering, and that was always held on LAMMAS, and it became very sort of special to me, you know. But it doesn't matter how you recognise that. You might just recognise it in your own way. You know, corn dollies are a traditional thing associated with LAMMAS, for instance, yeah? Now, there's no way we're making corn dollies this year in Wales. I mean, have you seen it out there? But there's other things that you can do. Use your imagination, you know. Just link into the energy of the season. Show gratitude and welcome the season that's yet to come, okay? So we stepped into Leo, and that's all going to be like about asking us how we express ourselves, how we allow our light to shine. And sort of really like enjoying life and enjoying the season and bringing that sort of fun and spark to everything. But then we've got an Aquarius supermoon, so it's a sort of an interesting combo, this one. Now, personally, I've got my own moon in Aquarius, so it's a full supermoon in Aquarius, so I'm feeling that. It can be quite detached because Aquarius is very logical, it's very, you know, of the mind. So when it comes into ruling the moon, it's sort of like, it can either, I feel it can either separate your head from your heart, or it can actually help you to bring them closer together. And I prefer to think, especially on this channel, because I know we've done an awful lot of work around head and heart stuff here, especially in the early days of this channel. It's about linking the head and the heart, actually, Aquarius energy, because yes, there are things going on that your logical mind, that your visions, you know, your visionary energy can see and everything, but then it's also linking to the moons that's asking you to look at your emotional life. Also, Aquarius is going to ask us to sort of speak up, be more bold about speaking up about what we perhaps have been holding on to for a long time, maybe, or things that we know need to change or need to shift or bring a new vision in. Very Aquarius. Bit of a warning, and I only really considered it after looking at my astrology diary this morning, if I'm honest with you. Not on a full moon. The Aquarius energy is going to make you want to speak up. It's going to make you want to be more outspoken about atrocities in the world, things in your personal life, and things that need to change, and you're going to want to express that, okay? So stirring that energy up within you. However, not during a full moon. Okay, it would be much better left to actually speak those things into existence, okay, or speak those truths closer to a waning moon, my loves. Okay, so just a little warning, practical warning there for you. Anything else? There's lots, because obviously I was planning to have done at least 3 videos by now, but life threw me a bit of a curveball, and So I feel like I'm playing catch up. Okay, there's a lot more I wanted to say there. Let's see what comes up as the reading goes on. I'm sure it'll come back to me, my darlings. Okay, so I just want to say thank you once again, and just hit the like button if you're enjoying. I really need those thumbs to come in, as many as possible. Please share this on anything that you think will help the channel to grow also, and please subscribe if you haven't already, because that's the other thing I was going to say to you guys. It's the 2nd year anniversary of Tarot by the Moon. I started this channel on Lionsgate 2 years ago, and I believe it was actually on the 8th of the 8th that I first launched the channel. So it's nearly exactly 2 years since I've been doing these videos, and I'm grateful for each and every subscriber, each and every positive action from the bottom of my heart. You know that, but really and truly, I do need to get some more subscribers. I mean, you know, I don't know if there's anything practical perhaps I can do to shift there, and maybe some of you will have some advice for me or something like that. But we really need to grow this channel, my love, and I say we because I'm not doing this alone. You know, it is a we project. It's not. Yes, it's my vision. Yes, it's my passion. But it's something that I'm not doing on my own. Even people who run YouTube are part of this team, or people who, you know, anyone who's got anything to do with it at all. So please don't underestimate your value of this channel, because you're part of it. You guys are part of it. Every single comment, every single like, every single share, every single subscribe. Okay, it's all helping. You're part of Team Tarot by the Moon, basically. Okay, and I couldn't be doing it without you guys, for sure. So consider that, my darlings, as we're moving forward. Okay, so I'm going to go in with an oracle reading today. I've been guided to start again with an oracle read after a bit of deliberation. Very interestingly, my cards that I took out for myself before I did the reading, which I sort of haven't taken any new cards out for myself to work with for a couple of weeks, 2 of them came up with a lion on. I kid you not, you cannot write this stuff. And then I've got a couple of other things there, but the 2 lions sort of make that gate as well, and I was like, I need to share that with you guys. That's beautiful. Okay, let's call in the highest vibe of love and only love into this reading today, for the channel, for our beautiful selves, for the beautiful planet that we live on, for Mother Gaia, for our home, planet Earth, for the cosmos, for the galaxy, for the universe, for all of the beings, for all of the extraterrestrial life that we've yet to meet and yet to understand, for all of the interdimensional life, for all of the spirits, the ancestors overseeing this reading today. Nothing but the highest vibe of compassion and love. Nothing for the highest vibe, but the highest vibe of compassion and love for everyone in your lives, family and friends. All of the animals and all of the plants that we share this beautiful planet with that are surely our teachers and guides. All of the aquatic life, the bird life, the insect life, the bacteria life, and everything in between. Nothing but the highest regard of compassion and love. And so it is, so it is, so it is. Throat chakra's going a little bit there. Okay, let's go in. So let's start with the beautiful Starseed Oracle. Okay. What exciting times we are living in as well. I want to say what exciting news we're getting lately regarding the admittance of extraterrestrial life and extraterrestrial activity. A lot of people are scared by it, and I can understand that fear. Personally, I feel nothing but elation about it, because to me it's very reassuring, and I feel like any fear that people feel around that issue is basically a result of years of conditioning via Hollywood and media, that if we should find life on other planets, etc., that it's going to be scary and it's going to have tentacles and we're going to need to go to war with it. And that's just been obviously part of the BS program that they've been spinning us all along while they knew that these beings exist. Now, to me, it feels as natural as accepting that there's lots of species on this planet. So there are so many diversities of life on this planet, the animal world, the creatures in the sea, the insect world. It is amazing, and we live here, we live alongside those animals and creatures, and I mean, most of us would agree that that is wonderful. And in the same way, it's just on the next level. There are a multitude of different expressions of nature, you know, and it's not the devil, it's not evil, it's not anything to be scared of. I feel like the thing we should be scared of most of all is ourselves, to be honest with you. Or fear itself even, because that one's turned around. Let me put it back the right way around, just one from last week, because I feel like that's what's coming next. Is there's going to be a spin of we need to be scared and we need to trust the government, and there needs to be, you know, and people are going to spin into this panic and have this fear of life on other planets, life in other dimensions and what have you, without even realising that they've been brainwashed to be fearful of it all their lives, with all the various sci-fi films and what have you that have come out of Hollywood, you know. And that in actual fact, many of those galactic civilizations are actually here to protect us. And I urge you to look this up. Have a look up at how many times humanity has nearly blown ourselves up, nearly nuked ourselves and what have you, and how many times UFOs have been spotted near nuclear bases when we've been just about to launch things or what have you. So they're here to protect us and to stop us from annihilating ourselves, okay? And then there's other races of ETs who are here to sort of speak to us on a psychic level and help us to grow in those abilities as well. And there's all sorts of things going on which I'm not qualified to explain to you for sure, but that I have always had an interest in and an understanding of, okay, a gnosis about, you could say. So personally, I feel really, really happy that this is starting to come out, and I just hope I can facilitate helping people not to be scared, and to open up and to accept that we are in fact part of a galactic family. Okay, fabulous. Right, all that being said, Starseed Oracle. Didn't want to play, wanted me to stop and talk to you about that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, let's see what the Pleiadian grandmothers have got for us today. Letting go of fear, moving into a new paradigm. The Lion's Gate is a very powerful time for this sort of thing as well. Okay. Well, here, right. Oh wow, that's the one I got last week to work with. Oh, from the Pleiadian grandmothers. Yeah, this Lion's Gate portal is often a time of year where people get more and more telepathic communication with different races, phenomena and all of that as well. Okay. Right. And of course Aquarius. I mean, Aquarius to me is the energy of sci-fi, sci-fact. Futuristic, visionary, thinking outside the box, daring to be different. Even at the, you know, for many years people scolded me for, and still do, you know, and criticised me for being into lifestyle I'm into, whatever, all sorts of things in my life. And part of that has always been as well about like chatting about aliens and being open-minded about all of that. And it's like, never be scared to be the one that's going, I'm going against the crowd, I think it's this, you know. And not for the sake of doing it, not at all, but just if you have that like understanding or that innate sort of leaning towards those subjects, then do, you know, follow that. These are not going to cut. And there we go, another fierce. Wow, that's very fiery. That's very Leo, look. Fire season. Okay, I think we had this one a few weeks ago actually. Oh, I might have had it. It's familiar, that one, another fierce. Okay. We've got the Black Moon Astrology. I love these. energy. What? Aquarius. You cannot write it, my darlings. There's Aquarius. Okay. Great. Right, so today, a sort of very simple assortment of cards wanted to come in. Sometimes I've got 5 or 6 different ones here or whatever, but today it was very specific. Just these, that'll do, just those, just do that. So that's just what we're doing. So what we've got from the Starseed Oracle is the Hiraeth, which was my personal card to work with last week, which is about longing for home and homesick for the stars. Okay. It's that one about being, feeling like we're not home, but knowing that, I'll read it a little bit, and also water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness and rest. I know it's boring and I know I keep harping on about it, but this is such an important part of your spiritual path. It's no good trying to heal other people or trying to evolve or trying to grow your gifts on your spiritual path if you're not taking care of your own basics first. It's a lesson I keep being brought back to time and again, and it's part of the reason why I had to take a break this week, because I just had that bit too much on. I was fraying my nerves, and it's okay. The thing is, if you're going to continue to force yourself and push yourself on to grow your spiritual gifts and to learn spiritual modalities or whatever it is you're trying to do, they're only going to be to the quality of where your energy is. So if your energy is low, you're not feeling well, you're out of sorts, your head's up your bum for whatever reason, then the magic that you're trying to spin is only going to be from the level of that quality. And then very often it can end up going awry, backfiring. Very rare, to be honest with you. I feel like that will happen. But it can, it can be very non-effective and at worst make things worse, okay? Which is the last thing you would want to do, of course. So the first and foremost thing to do is get yourself right as possible anyway, without being over the top and being a perfectionist, because that would be wrong as well. Finding that balance where your energy levels are back, you've taken care of yourself, you've organised yourself a little bit first perhaps before you've gone in. Like this week I've had a heck of a week, as I say to you guys, and even this room that I read from, which is like my sacred space area in the house, it's only a very small house, I always keep it quite immaculate. Even, I keep the whole house quite tidy and pretty good, but this area in particular I'm quite fastidious about. And even this room had got into a right pickle, and yesterday I looked around and I thought, I can't actually start doing any work or readings or anything of that nature until I've organised this and then given myself a nice salt bath. And that's right, if I had just tried to go in and rushed on, and the quality of what Spirit is bringing to you and working with you is just not going to be the same, my love. So it's well worth taking that bit of time to look after yourself, and look after yourself first and foremost, alright? We keep coming back to that lesson because it's important, and it's one that we easily forget. Let's look at Hiraeth for a minute, because that one's come up now. I think it came up in the collective a couple of weeks ago. I've had it to work with myself last week, and it's come up again, so there's something here that we really need to we need to stick with it, sort of thing, for a while. Let's have a look what it says. Well, we know it's a Welsh word, and we know that I am Welsh, and if you didn't, you might have guessed by the accent. It's a Welsh word that's difficult to translate, but it refers to a certain longing or homesickness, a yearning for a home or a place to which we cannot return. The unexplainable, unshakable longing for a home is common in starseeds and old souls. Perhaps you've had it since birth. For some, it's a distant memory of a planet, galaxy or star system in the universe that their soul remembers and yearns to return to, a place they may have experienced more than Earth. For others, it's a longing for the unity of Source, a remembering of the interconnected oneness. This yearning can lead some starseeds to travel, searching all corners of the planet to find a physical place that feels more like home. For others, it can manifest as a need to find home in people, communities and relationships, a journey to find somewhere they truly belong. If you resonate with this yearning for home but don't really know where home is, you're being invited to remember that your soul chose to be on the earth. You're being called to fully commit to embodying your life. You're being reassured that you didn't come here alone, and that your soul consciously decided to experience what it is like to be a soul in a human body on this planet and at this time. You're being called to anchor all of your presence, your personality and your soul and your spirit in the here and now, to fully commit to living this life right now, to commit to putting 2 feet completely in. That's it. I feel like we're finding it hard as starseeds, in particular light workers, old souls. We're finding that very, very difficult to commit to this life. And I can't help thinking about Sinead O'Connor right now. I know everyone's going to be sick of me going on about Sinead, but I'm going to go on about it anyway. I thought she was wonderful. I always thought she was wonderful. She was truly authentic and one of a kind. And over time, I sort of not forgot about her, but didn't listen to her so much and didn't follow her so much or whatever. But since she passed away, I've been looking back at her old interviews and things like that. It's quite clear to me that she was a starseed. She was a light worker. She was so all over there. And it's quite clear to me also that she found it very difficult to live this human life. A lot of the interviews are like around her really struggling, and she's quite open how she talked about how she struggled sometimes with, life. And I feel like a lot of us would relate to her, and I know I certainly have always related to her. And I'm watching them and I'm thinking she was so starseed, she's really having those struggles of fitting in, committing to life as a human being, because of course when you can see things from a different vantage point, that is very, very difficult, and you can see what needs to change, and you can see where people are sort of, damaged and all of this and that, but they're looking at you like you're the damaged one, and it's all very, very, very heavy. And I think for her as well, she, like a lot of celebrities, she had that that loneliness which starseeds, light workers and all souls also feel, but to be a celebrity on top of it, oh my days, it's just making me feel like there's a resonance with that, and there's a resonance with healing that, feeling like we don't belong here, healing that feeling like we don't fit in, because while it's important sometimes to be outspoken and not fit in that way that Sinead was famous for, and call out as she did, she called out various organised religions and what have you, it's also important for her it would have been also important for her to feel like she did fit in, and just have that little bit of humanity, and that's all she was looking for. And if you look back at her old interviews, it really comes through. She actually says it, when she struggled with her mental health issues and things, it was like, I was just looking for a little bit of humanity. I'm just looking for a little bit of tenderness from somebody, a little bit of compassion from somebody, okay? And the thing is as well, because we find that easy to give, and as she did, she found that easy to give, being a sensitive soul, it sort of really hits us hard when we don't feel that back of people. That's why it's important to grow a community, like what I'm doing with this channel. So instead of feeling alone, chat to each other. There's 55 people on here. It's not a huge amount for a YouTube channel, but you know what? It's a pretty decent community of people if you all start chatting to each other about how you feel during those lonely times, or how you feel different, or how you feel like you don't want to be here, So reach out to each other, reach out to the ones that get it, I want to say. Because we are being called to anchor all of our presence, personality, soul, spirit in the here and now. And I feel like if we can commit to that and sort of do our best at that's it. That is part of our mission, Is to actually enjoy being a human. Yes, we have that longing for something better. Yes, that's perfectly right, because that's what's going to help us have that vision and create that on this planet. But also at the same time, we need to balance it with moment to moment, being in the present, being joyful, enjoying the experience, enjoying the journey, okay? Because that is literally what it is. It's a journey. It's a journey, my darlings, okay? And start with taking care of yourself. Start with taking care of yourself. Body rest, tenderness, rest. There's a lot of changes in the astro weather at the minute, as I discussed in the preamble. There's a lot going on, all right? An awful lot. It's just a season of changes. And during those times of season of changes, you need to take extra care of yourself. And I know I'm always banging on about this, but please do that, you know. Whatever it is that brings you comfort, whatever it is. There was a Rumi quote that I posted the other day, and I thought, oh, good old Rumi, he's spot on again. Whatever it is that brings you refreshment, that's the thing to do. So it could be anything. It's different from person to person. One person's poison's another person's medicine, yeah. But just tune in and listen to yourself and just follow that thing that's going to make you feel better, put you back in touch with your heart scent and take you out of your racing mind. So I feel like a lot of people have got racing minds at the minute. Once you get stuck in your racing mind, you're stuck in your ego. You're stuck in your ego. If you're thinking of something over and over again, you were stuck in your ego. If you were obsessing about something, you were stuck in your ego. So get yourself out of that with a bit of self-care, okay, and start to try and enjoy the experience. That's the message from the Bridiogram that is right now. I feel like there's more going to come in over the next week with those guys for sure. Okay, so I'm so glad to see as well we had Mother Fierce from Kuan Yin. Now that's a very Leo fire season energy. Look at that. Okay, very LAMMAS indeed. Let's look that one up. I'm pretty sure we've had this one, or I've had it. But let's look it up. Number 18. Where is she? There she is. 18, Mother Fierce. Beloved, you have been growing spiritually, and sometimes this evokes responses from others. The responses may be loving and affirming, encouraging and validating. Many will choose to be inspired by your growth. Sometimes, however, lower vibrational responses will arise which might be fearful, insecure, jealous or angry. Do you know what? This is a recurring theme. This is a recurring theme, and it's something that I've witnessed myself in the last few weeks actually. Okay, these responses arise so that they can be healed. The healing for you is in how you choose to allow yourself to shine and not be diminished by the healing processes of another. A spot on. For the other, their healing is their journey, and you have offered them a great service. Know that you do not need to be afraid, nor do you need to hold yourself back out of fear. There is nothing that escapes the notice of beloved Mother Kuan Yin. As a divine mother of fierce compassion and protection, she sees all, she knows all, she blesses all. She can lift you beyond fear and threat, beloved, into a place of unity with divine love that secures you against any would-be threats and delivers you into peace. For you to benefit the most from her protection, you need to trust in her light and realise that she is shining through your own inner light, that she and you are one in truth. From this perspective, you can realise that you always have the right to say no to energy of fear and doubt that seeks to cause you harm. Harm comes from a lower vibration. It does not need to be feared, but it does need to be responded to with assertiveness and compassion. Kuan Yin will help you retain your inner peace in the face of any lower vibe energy, so that you can be kind and accepting of the divine essence of all of existence, no matter how heavily veiled that divinity appears to be, and yet also remain assertive that only unconditionally loving vibrations are welcome in your energy field. That is spot on, and I feel like I'm not the only one who is feeling that right now. I feel like a lot of us have done a lot of work, and I know in this collective, yeah, there's that throat chakra again. Somebody's trying to right, I'm going to call this right out right now. You're on this channel. I feel like somebody here is having their voice silenced. Somebody here has been speaking up perhaps about things that make somebody else feel uncomfortable, and you're only speaking up from them from a desire to heal, okay, and a desire to elevate. However, it's causing a lot of pain, discomfort to somebody else, and they want to stop you, because I'm just being shown it through the energy in my throat chakra there. Somebody wants to stop you from speaking. Somebody wants to stop you from speaking up and being so honest and being so truthful. And they are starting to feel like you think you're better than them and all that. And it's not. They think you're better than them because they've put themselves down. And that's not for you to worry about. That's part of their healing. If you trigger somebody, I think we went over this recently, if you trigger somebody and it's quite offensive for them and quite difficult for them and they sort of like backlash at you with a bit of jealousy or a bit of whatever comes from that lower vibe that they're experiencing, it's not for us to judge that or to try and fix it or anything. You just observe it. At the end of the day, you've done them a service. It doesn't feel like that to them right now, but you have, because you've triggered them, and that trigger is just a light that's been shone on a subject that needs to heal for them. And so you can handle it with tenderness and compassion, but the compassion must be for yourself first, or it's not compassion. Or it's not compassion, it's just victimhood and self-pitying. And I've learned this the hard way so many times. It's just victimhood and self-pity, and if you don't put that compassion, what compassion really means is, it doesn't mean you wearing yourself out worrying about you've offended somebody now, or you can't say this, you can't say that, because somebody will be upset, even though it's your truth. You say it anyway. You have compassion for yourself first. So long as you are not saying a thing or doing a thing to stir some, like in an intent to stir somebody out of your ego, going round and round in your head, and then going, oh, I know what I'll do, I'll say this, or I know what I'll do that. That would be out of ego. So long as you're coming from a place of love, you will not have gone far wrong. And just remember that, and then step back from trying to fix anything or explain anything or meddle with it at all. Let Mother Fierce take care of it. Let the energy of Kuan Yin and Mother Fierce take care of it, because that's it, your bit's done now. You just need to stand back, keep doing you, okay? Keep showing yourself compassion first, and then, because the thing is, you're not looking down at anyone just because they're displaying low vibe energy. We're all capable of displaying lower vibe energy. It's just not that you're looking down on them. They feel like you are, because that's where they are, that's where they've put themselves, you know. Just stand back, keep giving yourself self-care, keep giving yourself respect, and eventually that'll have a knock-on effect to other people around you, etc, etc. Okay, just trust in the energy of Mother Fierce and Kuan Yin there, and move with love and tenderness. But moving with love and tenderness means moving with love and tenderness for yourself first, always. I can't get it across enough, because I know in my collective, and I know in my own experience, and so that's what I've drawn to me in this collective, there has been that energy in the past in your life, or maybe you're still struggling with that, where you have always like overgiven to people, victimhood, allowed people to sort of, you know, and you've only done it out of sweetness and niceness, and because perhaps you've got a deep memory of a planet where that's okay to be that sweet and that nice, because other people will be like it back to you. But it's like you had to learn that here, that doesn't always apply. Here we do have to deal with low vibe energies within ourselves and within others, and we have to sort of sift through that. And how we sift through that is with compassion, with love and with kindness. That's that divine feminine energy of Kuan Yin, and why is here working with us today. That doesn't mean we're condescending, that doesn't mean we're any of those things. It just means we see what's going on, we see the trigger, we see the healing that it's going to bring. It's like having a bird's eye view and being shown of. You can see how this is going to pan out. Right now it feels like this for that person, but you can see further down the road you've triggered their healing, and you'll never get a thanks for it or a recognition for it, and it's not about that. But you know that you have triggered that healing, and then that makes it easier for you to cope with that backlash of jealousy or childish behaviour or whatever that they're going to project onto you, okay? So that's crazy. Yeah, that's a pretty deep one, and yeah, I've been witnessing quite a fair amount of that actually. Aquarius, you couldn't write it. Aquarius was being checked. Aquarius is where we're at. Aquarius full moon and Aquarius pops up. I love these cards. They always are absolutely spot on at the end of the reading, and you are my witnesses, my loves, okay? Aquarius, I know. Let's have a look. Number 23. This will be good. Number 23. Okay. yet to be tested and shown waves of the future. What did I just say? Oh, I love this. Thank you so much, Spirit. Ruled by the planet of sudden insight, Uranus, but in earlier times Saturn, the planet of wisdom, Aquarians tend to have a natural aptitude for genius. Even those that are not geniuses are able to collect facts and knowledge far beyond the scope of those of the other signs. Because of their vast intelligence, it doesn't take Aquarians long to see that they are superior in intellect to most people. This gives them a certain disdain over anything they view as common or ordinary. As seers into the future, Aquarians are ahead of the game and have accurate visions of the way things will be. This is why the sign of Aquarius rules sci-fi and anything brand new. In reality, Aquarians see waves of the future in a way the rest of us cannot. Aquarians can be very stubborn in their views, even when those views appear off the wall to others. They will fight long and hard just to have the freedom to stay weird. I totally agree with that. I've got my moon in Aquarius, and that is just exactly stay weird. Stay weird, guys. They will fight for the rest of us to stay weird as well. Absolutely. Whatever is taboo to outlandish greatly appeals to them, if only in the imagination. So oftentimes they are artists, inventors and speculative writers. As an air sign, meaning that they are primarily mental and are mental and not emotional, they can be great humanitarians but not very practical. And inside every Aquarian, no matter how attractive or glamorous, lives a geek. Yeah. The type who wants to escape the mundane world and enter the realms of fantasy cons, the graphic novel, appointment games and role-playing. At the same time, they can be rational and tend to get caught up in emotional dramas. Aquarians are more interested in friendships over romantic relationships. In fact, Aquarians are first a friend before a lover, unless, of course, you insult them by disagreeing with their far-fetched ideas, and then your history. Aquarians are very attracted to people of other ethnicities and races. So if they do decide to couple up with someone, it's generally because it's a person who does not come from the same background or sometimes even the opposite gender. Through all relationships, Aquarians will develop and grow, often as some kind of artist. Yet there is always a disconnected quality to Aquarians. They are noticeably peculiar, and in this they pride themselves. I so relate to that. Yeah. If the Aquarius card presents itself in a reading, you can be assured friends and friendly alliances are bound to help you achieve your goals. It's possible that you are to meet a group of people or become involved in organisations that will support you in unusual plans and ideas. It may be like a family group, but the emphasis will be placed primarily on the ideas of the crowd. If so, you can consider yourself the idealistic Pied Piper at the front of your group. One of the things that Aquarius talks about, and moving into the age of Aquarius is very much about, and that always sticks in my mind as well, is community. And sort of thriving through community. So like I suggested earlier on here about you all should be talking to each other and supporting each other. Other starseeds, other healers, other light workers, other weirdos, basically. Those are, we should be finding support in each other. That's what Sinead needed more of, I feel. That's what I'm getting at, and that's very Aquarius. It's interesting the Aquarius energy should come up, and that's what that paragraph's chatting about there, and that's big part of the Aquarian energy, I feel, is like, and why we're moving into the age of Aquarius as opposed to where we've been all about hierarchy and top-down structures in the world and everything. Now it's more about spreading out and having like a community, a round table sort of community spirit with Aquarius. Yeah, that's the vision. It's about everybody benefiting. Okay. With this card, you're likely to be mastering something new and untried, which will lead you to great awareness and success. That's fascinating, and that's why it's important, and that's why the Pleiadian energies come in today to show us we need to get ourselves right first, okay? We need to take care of ourselves first, and we need to start enjoying life and enjoying the experience and this adventure we're on, all right, this journey called life, because we are going to begin to start having our gifts activated. I feel this time of year as well, Lionsgate, you get a lot of your gifts activated, you get a lot of upgrades from spirit, and this sort of thing as well. And so get fit first, okay? Get fit, and part of getting fit is expanding your community, is communicating with other people, is realising that you're a human being and there are other human beings out there who are on the very similar path to you, who are having the same sort of experience where they feel like the loner, where they feel like they are, you know, the Sinead O'Connor of the group, you know, or wherever. It's that, you know, it's reach out to each other, because you feel like you're the outsider, and you should feel like that, and you are, but there are other people who feel like that. So find them, you know. Yeah, that's just spot on to what I'm feeling in this reading, to be honest with you. I think I did say it a lot earlier on, so I won't repeat it again now. Sci-fi and fantasy. This is also the energy of sci-fi. I spoke about that earlier on. You know, anyone who knows me knows how much of a Star Wars geek I was when I was a kid. It's absolutely spot on. I still am, but you know what I mean. But it's interesting as well. Earlier on, we were talking about the news and the ETs and all the new policies that are coming in, where disclosure's coming at a quicker rate than we thought it was going to, and everything. And that's very Aquarius. Anything to do with anything, you know, like that. That's totally Aquarius. So yeah, that's really exciting, my loves. Really very exciting. And there is that energy as well of, with Aquarius, even if you haven't got it in your chart at all, even if you haven't got your moon in Aquarius like I have or whatever, it's still going to affect you. It's going to affect everyone. It's going to make everyone want to sort of do something a bit more unique. Bring that unique, authentic side of yourself out. It's got that edge to it, Aquarius, okay? And doing that is going to perhaps make other people feel a little bit triggered, or like they're not good enough to do those way out things or whatever. Well, they are, but they just need to figure it out themselves, you know, without dragging you into the SHIT or whatever. And it's fine, just keep doing you. And there's all of that coming into it as well. And it's like that, like the book stated, it's got a certain intelligence to it, Aquarius, and that can be off-putting to other people as well. So it's tempering that with the compassion of Kuan Yin as well, because with Aquarius, and I know in my own nature and in my own life, it can be quite cold, or it can come across as quite cold to other people, because it's so, like the book state, is so mental, it's so visionary and all of that, and then other people can sort of feel a little bit, because I've had this levelled at me, I don't know how many times all my life since I was little, like that, people thinking a little bit distant or up yourself or that sort of thing, and you're not at all. You love people more than people love people. You're the humanitarian of the zodiac, for God's sake. But people feel that from you, when they feel that distance from you, when they feel like you're a little bit cold, okay, emotionally and things like that. So it's about tempering that Aquarian energy that's coming in strong for us at the minute as well, with that Kuan Yin, because the Kuan Yin energy is anything but cold. Look at that. That's Leo, that's fire, that's the sun, that's the heart, that's the mother, that's protective, that's nurturing, okay? So it's balancing. I feel like there's a beautiful balance coming in here of that. I'm being shown frost and fire for some reason, which is part of, and I don't know why this is coming in, but it is. Haven't looked at anything like this for years, but I'm pretty sure frost and fire is to do with part of the creation stories of the Nordic sort of pagan cultures. I think it might be Icelandic or Norwegian or something. That they believed that everything in the world was formed of frost and fire, polar opposites, of course. And I feel like there's this beautiful balance, and if that's why I'm being shown that, okay, thank you, Spirit. So, of course, if everything was formed of frost and fire, okay, and there's these two elements here on the table today, we can create something fantastic out of that. We are just getting ready to step into huge gifts being awakened, huge creative powers being awakened, leaps and bounds being taken for humanity. I feel like this time next year is going to be like, what the heck happened? Honestly, I really do. I feel like it's getting more and more like that as the years go by, but maybe that's just me, but I honestly do. That's what I'm seeing here. That's what I'm seeing here, and we've only got a few cards, but it's clear to me that's what's on the table. Okay. Begins with ourselves, begins with us looking after ourselves, begins with us looking after each other, reaching out to each other, and then balancing that, okay, and understanding that, yeah, this sort of light that we're bringing through, it's blinding. It absolutely is, and it should be. People are going to be blinded by it, and people are going to be triggered by it, and people are not going to want to talk to you anymore because they don't get what you're on about, they can't keep up with it, or they feel like you've gone up yourself or whatever. But that's okay, because then you've triggered them to, you've planted a seed with them, and you've often find it, and I've seen it over and over in my life. You'll say something, you'll learn something, you'll pass it on to somebody, and they'll be all overwhelmed by it and blinded by it, and then 4 or 5 years down the line they'll try to teach it back to you like you've never heard it or something. You're thinking, yeah, that's how it works, and it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that everyone's getting in them, okay? Because the last thing that this is a competition, but I feel like we're in very, very exciting times, my love. And I feel like the Leo season's going to be so super exciting. So I don't know why. I felt like it for weeks. I've said to you for weeks. I feel like Leo is running towards me. The energy of that lion's gate is running towards me, and not in a ferocious way, in a want to throw myself on you sort of, kind of cuddle you sort of way. I hope you're feeling that too, because I'm feeling really happy about it all, in spite of all the drama that I've had in my 3D life this week, you know. Right, let's see what's coming in with the tarot to clarify. I hope you're keeping up with this reading. It's a bit of a wild one, but I expected it to be a little bit wild, to be honest with you. I didn't know I was going to come out as ever, but I knew there was going to be a lot of energy, for sure. Right, so we've got Tarot Illuminati. It's nothing to do with secret cabals or the Illuminati. It's just called Tarot Illuminati because the word Illuminati just means to be enlightened. Okay, which is what we seek when we do a tarot reading or an oracle reading, which this is. Excuse me. Okay, let's just. Nine of Swords, yeah. Somebody's been overwrought here. This is the energy, I won't lie to you kids, this is the energy of sleeplessness, anxiety, overthinking and stress, okay? And we were picking up on that at the beginning, yeah. Somebody's been feeling, and I know, like I say, I've had a week of it myself, so I wouldn't be surprised if anyone else have as well. Like perhaps people have been levelling jealousy at you, or levelling their negative low vibes at you, okay, because they're getting triggered by your light. Or if you're feeling that longing, that loneliness, that despair, Sinead, okay, that kind of thing. Like you don't want to be here anymore, all of that. If I'm triggering anything, please get in touch as well. It's super important that you get in touch if I am triggering anything. You can always speak to me in the utmost of confidence, and I will always respect you and listen to you, and I will always point you in the right direction of free counselling regarding any crisis that you might be facing. I've got a whole list of fabulous people and numbers that I can pass on to you and refer you to, okay, my loves? So please don't feel alone. You're not alone. And I'm picking up a lot of that energy right now. Please reach out if that is where you're at, okay? Please reach out if that is where you're at. Like, you can't carry on anymore. Like, it is too much. Like, nobody does get it. Alright. Oh, let's try another one. Any more advice from Spirit? Tarot. Okay, advice. I didn't expect this. We got 4 cards for advice. Okay, so this is perhaps how we've been feeling. Nine of Swords, it's been tough, okay? It's been a tough transition into this, from last season into this season, for sure. Somebody's stopping somebody from speaking up. Somebody doesn't want you speaking up about something, and that could be causing you to feel less. And that's linked to this as well. Somebody's not happy that you were speaking your truth. It puts them in a bad way. That's the way but you have to do it, my darlings. The advice from Spirit for moving forward and dealing with this. We've got a 7 of Cups, a 9 of Cups. Strength. I knew we'd see strength somewhere in this reading today. And an 8 of Pentacles. Okay. Now, first of all, I want to talk about that because I knew that would come into this reading somewhere today. That too is the card for Leo. And we're just in Leo season and Lionsgate, and there's your lion. So there's confirmation from the lions. From the past chats, or whatever you prefer to call them. Okay. The lion people. Sirius, the great central sun. Okay. Okay. Some of you might be especially drawn to Syrian energy and finding out about Syrian starseeds. I'm just getting that through right now with the lion and the Lionsgate and Sirius. So when I say, one of the reasons why I changed the name of the channel to Galactic Sun was to do with this time of year that we're at now, actually, a lot of it. Sirius being the galactic sun that our sun is aligned to, and so that we're trying to align the planet to, and all of that is elevating Gaia and elevating us, okay? Sounds a bit deep and far out, but it's not really when you have a little look into it. And I feel like some of you are starting to look a bit more into that and start to sort of have an understanding of that, as what I'm being shown there as well, which is wonderful. But here's the advice from Spirit going forward, okay? First thing we need to do is focus, okay? Because all of this anxiety, overwhelm, feeling alone, feeling like we're triggering other people, and that's the last thing perhaps we want to do because we're sensitive. I'm feeling a little bit perhaps overwrought by all of this news that's coming out moving forward into the future, all right? Feeling a little bit anxious about it, maybe even. Spirit wants you to focus, okay? There's too much going on here to distract you. 7 of Cups. He's got all those cups in front of him. He don't know where to look. He don't know where to put his attention, okay? He don't know where to put his attention. How are we going to get to find out where to put our attention? We need to look a little bit closer at how we're working, all right? The 8 of Pentacles is a card of hard work, getting recognised for what you do, but it's about working in a very methodical way as well, a very sort of down-to-earth methodical methods of getting things done. But also, and this came to me the other day, an important aspect of the 8 of Pentacles is that sometimes it looks like we're doing the same thing over and over again. So wherever he's making that, you know, he's some kind of a smithy or an ironmonger, yeah. When you're making something and you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're thinking, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But like me, what I do here, I'm doing that, I'm doing the reading, and I'm doing that. And it becomes quite robotic, and you're doing the same thing over and over again. But you're not actually doing the same thing over and over again, because by repeating those actions, you always come around. It's like that thing about coming around the spiral again, of learning. And you always see things that you missed before, or a better way to do things, or a deeper level of something. You always do. And there's that to be remembered about the 8 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, sorry. So focusing on what we really want, and how we're focusing on what we really want is by working hard, sticking to a tried and trusted method, but also understanding that it's never the same twice, and that there are deeper lessons to learn within that structured way of doing things. So self-discipline will show you new insights, I feel, at this time, and it'll focus you from that scattered energy. Then we've got the strength, which I think this came up in our last reading as well. Strength, I think it was the first one out, actually, wasn't it? And I said to you then, you know, with the strength card, it's about inner strength and all of that, yeah? But also, we can't keep that lying down forever. It's unsustainable. But we're still keeping it down for now. We're still keeping it down for now, and we're doing a grand job of it as well by that image there, I want to say. We really truly are. We really truly are. We're making magic happen as well. We are making magic happen. We are working within the energy of the Lionsgate, I want to say. This particular deck of cards has got that sort of magical energy rising above, and I feel like that's symbolical of working within the Lionsgate, yeah. And then we've got a 9 of Cups. beautiful Nine of Cups energy is all about contentment. It's all about being very satisfied and very smug and very pleased with yourself. Just like the figure on this card, stepping his little leg forward in those rather fancy boots and red trousers and a little smug look on his face. Very pleased with himself and his 9 cups. Very, very comfortable in life. And that's what I feel is the advice from Spirit, is just asking for focus and focusing upon the work. Okay, so the actual spiritual work. That doesn't mean you have to be a tarot card reader or doing something spiritual like this or whatever. It just means that those things that are improving your spirituality, working upon yourself, is the most important thing you can do for your spirituality. It's totally the most important thing. It's no good learning spells and whatever if you're not doing the work on yourself. It's just completely pointless. So doing that work, okay, wherever that is, even if you've got to go over and over things, just like this master craftsman here in this image, okay, and it looks like he's repeating himself and doing the same thing over and over, but he's not. He's learning deeper and deeper truths every time he goes around that process, okay. And by doing that, you will be blessed with the energy of the Lion's Gate, of Sirius, of the portal that we're in, okay, and you will move forward to a state of contentment. And isn't that the opposite to that? You will move from that state of anxiety, dwelling on things and being overwrought and letting all of other people's nonsense and not looking after yourself and, you know, worrying about the aliens or whatever, making you totally overwrought. Or you could be this fella here, totally satisfied. And it can also mean that you're throwing yourself into practical work, because very often doing something practical, which the 8 of Pentacles often is, throwing yourself into some kind of practical work, perhaps around the house or the garden, or a project that you have on, perhaps you're doing a car up or something, you know, something practical, something hands-on, can also do wonders for your spiritual life and bring you back to that state of contented, grounded, happy energy, okay, of the 9 of Cups. So I hope that's all made sense to you. It certainly made sense to me, and I'm so glad that I came on to do this reading eventually today, and thank you so much for bearing with me and understanding that sometimes I can't come on as regularly as I'd like to, because stuff seems to be set against me at the minute, but I keep rising above my loves. Okay, and thank you for your continued support, and please give me a thumbs up, please give me a share, please leave me a comment, please get in touch if you'd like a personal reading. I would absolutely love to give you personal readings. Please do not accept any offers of a reading from somebody approaching you, because that won't be me or another tarot reader, because real tarot readers don't do that. You approach us, okay? So please get in touch with me via the email address below, and I can set that up for you. I'll be over the moon to do that for you, okay? So in the meantime, enjoy what's left of the weekend. Hopefully I'll be back in the next day or two to catch up on some readings for you guys, okay, and so we're up to with this energy. Enjoy the full moon, enjoy LAMMAS, enjoy Leo season, enjoy your Sunday, and yeah, look after yourselves. All the love, all the light.